Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Miranda, your marriage and relationship coach. You fell in love with each other and decided to marry each other. However, gradually you notice that your love is turning into coldness and two lovers start to live like strangers. This is how to build a strong bond with your spouse. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Before you marry each other, there is this excitement that you feel to talk to your spouse. You want to talk to your spouse every time. You want to always text them. You are eager to be his wife. You're eager to be her husband. You're eager to share things with each other. You're eager to talk about your day with each other. You're eager to talk about the things that are happening to you, to your partner. Your partner becomes the person to whom you run to talk about maybe a good thing that happened to you, some good news, or to talk about some bad thing that happened to you. And there is this communication. Sometimes you talk all night, right? You're on phone and you talk all night and you always have something to talk about. But now when you marry, this excitement gradually drops. And then suddenly you get to realize that the two of you who used to love each other so very much now start to live like strangers. The question is, how do you build a strong bond with your spouse? Number one, communicate. Communication is a flow of energy. The person you talk to more often, you gradually start to resemble the person. That is, you start to talk, think, and even do things like the person. Because there is this exchange, there is this flow of energy with the person. So when you talk to your spouse, you talk to your spouse about your day, you talk to your spouse about your joys, your challenges, your difficulties. You talk to your spouse about how you're doing, how you're faring, what you're feeling. This is very important because when you communicate, you turn to express the way you feel. Your partner is not in your head, right? So you get to express exactly the way you're feeling, and your partner can better understand you and better relate with you when you communicate. You should be able to ask clearly what your needs are. You should be able to make demands clearly about your needs. You should be able to say, please, would you mind doing this for me? You don't sit and assume that your partner knows exactly what is going through your head, right? Your partner is not in your head. So your partner may not possibly know what you're thinking or what you're feeling or what you really want. So you should be able to talk about your needs clearly. You should be able to talk clearly about your needs. You should be able to talk about the things you want, make specific demands from your partner. Fix a time that you call bonding time, a time wherein you share about your day, a time wherein you talk to each other about the deep feelings that you have, a time wherein you tell your partner how much you love him or her. And they say women are moved by what they hear, right? So give her something to hear. Give her something to hear. Let your partner not hear that she's beautiful from outside. For instance, maybe every day when she goes to work, she's well dressed, and it is a colleague that tells her how beautiful she looks like. You should be able to talk to your spouse, communicate, tell them how much you love them, say thank you, say I'm sorry, say the things that you know that your partner loves to hear. Tell them how much you need them. You should be able to communicate. Your partner should be the first person to whom you can share your views, share the things that cross your mind, share your possibility, your pains, share the things you're envisaging, planning. So your partner should be the person to whom you most freely talk to. Communicate. Number two, learn to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is actually being able to express your deepest feelings, your deepest needs, your pains, the way you're feeling, being able to talk plainly about the difficulties you're going through, to talk about the challenges you're experiencing. Men really have a hard time doing this because they have the impression that being vulnerable is a demonstration of weakness. They always want to have everything under control. No, my darling, that's not true. Being vulnerable to your partner is a demonstration of trust and confidence. It's a demonstration of the fact that you need them. You actually believe that they can contain and keep your secrets. They can be able to comfort you when you need comfort. They can be able to advise you. They can be able to uplift you. So being vulnerable is very important in a relationship. Is very important in building bonding because it demonstrates that you trust your partner. No one has everything under control, not so. No one is able to have everything or is able to always have everything under control. No one is able to always be strong. There are moments that you have moments of weaknesses, moments of challenges. So be vulnerable. Feel free to be vulnerable to your spouse. Feel free to talk about your deepest pain. Feel free to talk about your deepest challenges. Maybe what is happening at your workplace? What are the difficulties you're experiencing at your workplace? What are the difficulties you're experiencing probably with a friend, probably with a project? What is the pain that you're feeling? Tell your partner how much you need them. Possibly, maybe you need your partner. You want to have more time with your partner. You want that your partner should show you more love. Your partner should show you more attention. You are in need. Talk about it. Talk about your needs. Talk about your pains. In case you have a challenge, why not just talk about it to your spouse? What makes you think your spouse does not have a possible solution? And even if your spouse does not have a solution, she could possibly just have a contact that could help solve the problem, right? And in case she has a contact and that could help solve the problem, there we go. The problem has been solved. And even if your partner cannot give a possible solution, she cannot possibly give advice, she does not possibly have a contact that could be of help. They say a problem shared is half solved, not so. She would, of course, just serve as some person to whom you will talk and then get relief and probably comfort. Talk about your deepest needs. And when we talk about women, very strong and independent women, they also have difficulties with this. It is, you must not always be under control. It's, you're not, no one expects you to always be strong. No one. We are all humans. We all have bad times. We all have times when we are down. We all have insecurities. We all have challenges. We all have moments where we are not feeling the best of ourselves. We should learn to be vulnerable to your spouse. Learn to talk about your pain to your spouse. Learn to talk about the difficulties. Learn to talk about the fact that you are not able to do a particular thing. Make your partner know that you need them. Some men find it difficult to even tell their spouse that maybe they don't want them to probably travel, they want them to be home so that they can spend more time together. They want to prove strong. Some men think it's not proper for a man to cry, right? And generally in Africa, when a young a young boy falls down, they will tell him, "Strong men don't cry." So the young boy grows up knowing that he has to always be strong. This is not true. For me, I always advise young girls, don't marry a man who does not cry. I'm not talking about a crybaby here. I'm talking about a man who is bold and confident enough to be vulnerable, to acknowledge that he's going through difficulties, to acknowledge that he's going through pain, to acknowledge that he needs you. So you should be able to make your partner know how much you need them. Learn to be vulnerable. Number three, do things together. You are a team. When you marry, you should form a team. Do things together. Don't let any other person be more present in your spouse's life more than you. Don't let the house help be more present in your husband's life. Don't let the driver or the errand boy be more present in the life of your wife. Have you heard stories of a boss sleeping with his secretary? Have you heard stories of a woman sleeping with her driver or with the errand boy? Generally, it's because the secretary is more present in the life of her boss. She knows practically everything about the boss's life, about his work, about the challenges he's experiencing at work, about sometimes about the challenges he's experiencing at home. Because when he doesn't sleep well at home, he comes to the office with a heavy face, right? So the secretary knows his every move. And then because of the time they spend together, because of the things they share together, what happens? They tend to bond. And the same proximity brings affection. So proximity brings affection. What happens to them? Now the relationship graduates from a professional relationship into a romantic relationship because she's too present. And most often, if she is too present in her boss's life and the wife is not present in the life of her husband, what happens? There is this shift of attention back to his secretary. It's the same thing for an errand boy or for a driver. He's the one always present in the house, in the life of the wife. She wants to send someone for an errand, wants someone to help her do something around the house. He's the one who is always present. They tend to bond together. They tend to spend more time together. If your wife is not sleeping with the driver, probably it's just because she fears God, right? Learn to do things together. Go to church together, go to the market together, help her hold the basket. When she's cooking, probably go to the kitchen and even just hand her a spoon. Spend some time talking together, watch TV together, spend time to maybe watch a football match with him, or at least some days spend time to watch her favorite series with her. Spend time together, do things together. And the more you do things together, the more you bond. Let some other person not be very present in the life of your spouse other than you. Spend time and do things together. Number 4, create moments together. What do I mean by moments? I'm talking about special periods, special events where you spend time together and create a memory together. Generally in marriage, there is the possibility of turning into a routine in each of our lives, right? Maybe you wake up in the morning, you say your prayer, you prepare the kids for school, you get ready for work, and then you go to work. When you come back, maybe you prepare some food, you eat, check the children's homework, and then you go to bed. So your life revolves around this kind of a program. So it's always that, it's a routine. Now you realize that as time goes on, you barely have time for your spouse. You barely have time to that you spend just alone with your spouse. It takes a lot of discipline to produce some special moments during with this kind of a schedule. So you need to create moments, intentionally create moments. Why not decide to take a holiday, but why not decide to take a weekend off if you can have a holiday? Take a weekend off, probably to a hotel where you will just be two and create a special moment together. Or if you can't actually pay for some time spent at a hotel, you could make a simple home dinner. You could make a home dinner for two, a romantic dinner for two. You could take a special day and make a romantic dinner for two. You could maybe go out on a picnic you could go out to the park. You could go out to the beach. You could find a clean, a nice and beautiful place around your area where you and your spouse go to, where you can spend time together, just the two of you, and possibly maybe take pictures or even make little videos that you can watch after that. You could make moments where you just talk to you look into the eyes of your spouse, you look into each other's eyes and tell each other how much you love each other. And you can possibly make a video of that, right? You can make a video of that and tell each other how much you love them. Um, you could look into each other's eyes and then tell them, maybe redo your vows or maybe make more promises and tell them how much you need them. Create these little moments. These are special gifts. These are jewels that your spouse will go to in times of difficulties, in times of challenges. When your spouse starts to think that you don't love them that much, or when your spouse starts to doubt how much you love them, they can revisit these moments. You both can revisit these moments and it will ignite the flame again. So create moments. Do not take for granted the fact that you have busy lives and forget to create special moments with your spouse. Create moments. Thank you for watching our video right to the end. If you got here, it means you enjoyed the video right to the end. Hope you learned something. Leave us a comment, like, subscribe to our channel, share our video to your friends and family that may possibly need this advice or this little counsel. Join the family by subscribing to our channel, and we will see you in our next video. Bye.